So it's all to play for still.
I think so. Do you want to bet against us?
Hello, Aston Villa fans, and welcome to For the Love of Paul McGrath podcast. And I'm coming on today to talk to you about something that I didn't think I would be talking to you about. And it's a tweet has just been sent by Mike McGrath, and a Telegraph article has accompanied it, saying that Aston Villa are eyeing a move for Tammy Abraham to bring him in to the club. Bring him back to the club, should I say, and to provide support for Ollie Watkins. Now, do not adjust your radio dials, or do not adjust your television sets. It is not 2019. As we know, Tammy Abraham had a brilliant stint with Aston Villa, obviously getting us to that promotion and getting us back into the Premier League again. But since then, he's gone on his travels to Italy, and then to currently residing at Besiktas in Turkey at the moment. But let's take a little look at the actual article itself, and we can read down through it. And let me make that a small bit bigger for those of you who are watching. And we can read through it together. Oh, I realized I don't have anything on the background there. Let's go. That makes it better. It looks a small bit better. So, Aston Villa eye Tammy Abraham to help keep Premier League title challenge alive. An exclusive. Unai Emery wants to recruit specialist striker in January transfer window to provide support and competition for Ollie Watkins. So this, as I say, is from Mike McGrath. Aston Villa are eyeing a move for Tammy Abraham as they look to strengthen Unai Emery's squad for the second half of the campaign and keep pace at the top of the Premier League. Abraham, 28, is on loan at Besiktas from AS Roma this season and has reached double figures for goals in Turkey. He is understood to be in Villa's radar for the January transfer window to provide support and competition for England forward Ollie Watkins. During a previous successful loan spell at Villa Park, Abraham was promoted to the championship at the club under Dean Smith, as we all know that. Landing him again would be a complicated deal, as Abraham is midway through a loan that will be made permanent for £11.2 million if certain conditions are met. He is thought to be on a salary worth around £115,000 per week, which also could be an obstacle. But targeting the ex-Chelsea player is a sign of Villa's intent this season. After getting within 6 points of leaders Arsenal at the halfway stage of the campaign, they're also interested in the deal for Conor Gallagher at Atletico Madrid if the England midfielder is allowed to leave his Spanish club. And I will actually be talking about Conor Gallagher in Villa AM tomorrow. I have a piece done and ready to go on him. So yeah, it goes on then to go down through Tammy Abraham's. Oops. So the big thing that the big thing here with Tammy Abraham is, look, listen, he did a great job for the club when he was here before. He's only 28 years of age, which is great, and he's coming back after injuries. And he's coming back very well, should I say, after injuries. You know, he's scoring goals in Turkey at the moment, and he could, we do need a specialist forward. And I've always said that Aston Villa were going to go and maybe get a retread at this centre forward position to come in and to help with this push. And Tammy Abraham suits that role. He's not going to start every week, but he has the opportunity. He's a dedicated striker that can start maybe every second week, and help Aston Villa out. He can come off the bench. You know, he's rangy. We know what we've seen before. Now, he did have his injury history as well, and you know, I want to go down through those as well. Since leaving Villa, he's had a bit of an injury conundrum. Now, all of them were more. How would I put it? They were kind of more freak injuries than they were like consistent injuries. Like, it wasn't like a Michael Owen where his hamstrings were gone and they were just going to continue to tear. In November 2019, he'd just gone back to Chelsea and he was stretchered off in a Champions League match against Valencia after a heavy fall, and he had very bad bruising on his hip, and he actually had issues with his hip throughout the course of the season that season. But that all cleared up and it was no issue for him. He also had a bad ankle injury in 2020, 2021, again while at Chelsea, and this did hinder him for almost the whole season. It kept him out for Kept him out for somewhere between 3 and 5 months, I think, on and off. And then he moves to Roma. Then he moves to Roma, and this is where he gets the most severe injury of his career. He got an ACL tear, and that was in June 2023. And it took him until March 2024 to get back. And I think that's probably why we probably tend to feel that he has been injured quite a lot, is because he went to Roma and he started pretty okay when he was at Roma, but then he does get injured. And when he comes back, he gets injured at the end of 1 year, misses out in the whole year, comes back at the end then of that year. So he was almost a full year out. And he kind of had 2 off seasons to go through when he was injured. And I think it seems like he was injured more often, should I say, than he actually was. But he's recovered from that ACL tear. He went out on loan to AC Milan last season. He's now on loan at Besiktas, and he's got himself right. If he's scoring goals, I think he's got 10 goals in 17 games. I'm open to correction on that. I think it might be 7 in 17 games in the league this year. And Tammy Abraham is we don't know whether he wants out of Turkey. We don't know whether the Turkish club actually want to release him, as we read there from the Mike McGrath article. So this is something I think that Aston Villa are exploring everything. I can guarantee you Aston Villa are exploring everything. Whether this one comes true or not, who knows? But it's worth talking about because he did fire us back from the Championship into the Premier League. And it was for him to come back and then to fire us, who knows where he would fire us to, in the league, would be a great, great story, specifically since he has had those mishaps, since he's been away from the club, since he's gone out on loan. Is it the most perfect transfer we could look for? No, it's not. But Villa aren't going to get perfect in this window. Villa are going to get functionality. They're going to get players that Unai Emery wants. Unai Emery thinks can come in and can add something to this squad. It may not be adding something to the squad for 90 minutes every game. It may be spot starting. We know how much he's leaned on substitutions. And substitutions having impact and that being a thing for this team this year. He's leaned on that. And there's been a big strategy behind. I'm convinced there's a strategy behind why he starts players and why he brings players off the bench. We can probably all see that. And having somebody, the one area that we don't have really, where we bring on Daniel Malen as a striker, and I'm thinking as the year is going on, he's becoming less and less effective there. So Unai wanting to get a striker in, a dedicated number 9 that can come in, that plays number 9 all the time and will not play anywhere else, to come in and to work with Ollie Watkins is something I think is high in the list. I've always said that I thought it was going to be more of a functional striker, more so than a splashy signing. I've always said that I thought it could be a retread, it could be a loan. I don't know why I had in my mind someone like Krzysztof Piatek or Andrzej Milik or one of those guys from Serie A that would come in, just a grizzled old veteran that would come in and get the job done in Europe. Maybe score 3 or 4 goals between now and the end of the season and be somebody who can come in and take the loan off. But if you're bringing somebody like a 28-year-old Tammy Abraham who has returned back to full fitness and is somebody that obviously knows the club, obviously knows England, is English, and would be probably interested in coming back to England and playing for this Unai Emery team. Well, I think that's a massive plus point and a bonus. What happens when we bring him back? Do we bring him back full time? Is he here next year? Who knows? There's complications in this all over the place. But it's just the fact that this is broken, I suppose, over the last couple of hours. I thought it was an interesting one to talk about, and especially kind of to go down through where his career is now and the injuries, because the injuries are the big thing that's always thrown at him on Twitter whenever his name comes up. That and the fact of, listen, Tammy's done his thing, leave him where he is. This isn't somebody coming in to revolutionize Aston Villa. This is somebody coming in to help Aston Villa more so. And I think from that point of view, I think it's a good standard of striker to be able to bring in somebody who knows the league, can hit the ground running, knows the club, can hit the ground running there as well. And the bedding in process, you would imagine, would be absolutely minimal. So again, I don't know whether this one actually happens. I don't know whether it gets over the line. I don't know whether there's any truth in it whatsoever. But there are a lot more positives to a signing like this, depending on the structure of the deal, than there would be negatives, because this guy is going to come in and he is going to affect Aston Villa Football Club. It's not going to, like, he's going to affect it more than a Jadon Sancho will. He's going to affect it more than a Harvey Elliott will. And I think anything that we get in, and he's going to affect it more than, probably more than Evan Cassand will. And anything we can get in that can help the squad, as opposed to two of those three, and what I say, Sancho and Elliott, not really helping us currently at the moment, and Gesson being in the AFCON, I think that is a plus point. That is a plus point, and Villa should explore all of those if we can get them in, keep them under SCR, PSR, and all that kind of stuff, and use them as a positive to propel us. Propel us further up the league means we go to number one. But you know what I mean. Propel us further towards our goals for the rest of this season. So let me know what you think below. I know this is going to be a Marmite one. I know a lot of people are going to say, leave him where he is, don't need him, all that. Just would be interested to gauge what the public reaction would be to news like this. And we will talk to you again about more transfers, because Villa have been linked with a couple more players, 2 defenders, as I said previously, that will be coming up in some scouting series tomorrow as well. So thanks so much, everybody, for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and all that's left to say is up the Villa.